Welcome, everybody. You are at Local Nature Songwriting for the Earth. And our presenters today are Karen Wagner and Marcia McFarland, both who are experienced songwriters and nature lovers, just like us. My name is Carrie Winninger, and I am the outreach lead at the Center for Environmental Inquiry with Sonoma State University. So, our public events like this are actually usually done at our preserves. But we went virtual since the start of the pandemic, and we are slowly easing back into a hybrid model. So, this fall, all of our events are still virtual, but our hikes and training sessions are in person at Osborne Preserve, which is really exciting. It's been wonderful having people from all over the country and sometimes across the globe join us with these virtual events. So we're really excited to help you connect to nature and learn how you can make a difference during this pandemic. So first off, if I could ask everyone to take just a moment to type your full name into the chat box, that's our sign-in sheet for the day. Sometimes Zoom names don't match up. And if you need any help with Zoom figuring out how to do that, just let me know.
Does she want us to do that?
I got you, Karen and Marcia. Thank you. But if everyone else could type their name. So before I let Karen and Marcia take it away, I want to tell you all a little about what the Center for Environmental Inquiry is and how we can be a resource to you. The center manages Fairfield Osborne Preserve, which encompasses 450 acres on Sonoma Mountain in Pen Grove, as well as Galbraith Wildlands Preserve, which is 3,670 acres in Yorkville, which is Mendocino County. And pre-pandemic, we held all those events on site. So we really want to acknowledge, honor, and make visible that our preserves are the ancestral lands of Native peoples. And we encourage you to learn more about that at our website, cei.sonoma.edu. What we do at the center is mobilize faculty, students, and community to solve complex environmental challenges by turning education into action. So we invite you to join our diverse community of learners and problem solvers, no matter what your background is or your connection to the university, because all sectors of society, all parts of the community are critical to get involved if we're going to be successful. So we want you to leave today with a better understanding of our connection with the environment and some skills that lead to sustainable solutions. There are many ways to get involved. You can engage in research with us. That's creative inquiry or scientific inquiry. Take our naturalist or land management training programs. Learn about the virtual field, which is a collaboration for undergraduate classes. We have internships and student jobs. There's data you can access. You could even lead an event like this or partner with us on a project, or help create more programs like this by donating, since they're actually funded completely by the generous support of donors. And do come to our Saturday hikes starting October 16th. We're just tickled to be actually outside with everybody. So thank you for joining today. Please just know that each of you has a role to play, and I hope you will choose to come get environmentally ready with us as we tackle the greatest environmental challenges in history. Today, we are going to focus on how song can connect us to nature, to spread the word about important environmental issues, and to inspire. We'll start with the very basic, so no experience is needed. Karen and Marcia are going to present, and that'll be about 25 to 30 minutes. And then they'll prep us to go outside, do a few observations on our own, and then we'll all come back and discuss, share what we've done, ask questions. And then we'll actually have an extra half hour after the event is over for anybody who wants to stay and get more feedback or do more writing. So it's officially an hour-long event, but we'll be here a full hour and a half if anybody wants to stay. So I hope you got that event, the pre-event email that had the handout. And so if you have that up on your screen or print it out, that would be great. And also if you could get something to take notes with, just like a pen and paper. That's all we really need to get started. So lastly, just feel free to email me after the event for any follow-up you have. I'm going to put my email in the chat, and it's also the same as in the registration email that you received. Just a few things about Zoom. This is a more casual event, so we're leaving videos on, audio on, just if there's any noise in the background. If you can mute yourself, that would be great. Otherwise, I can help do that for you. So also, if there are any questions that you have during the experience, feel free and just stick them in the chat, and I'd be happy to ask them out loud at an appropriate time, or we can wait till the end. So with that, I will turn it over to Marcia and Karen.
Hello. I'm Karen.
I'm Marcia.
And Marcia. we're excited to be here, and I have more to say than I actually have minutes. But we just hope that you leave feeling encouraged to attempt songwriting. We've we're amateur musicians, and we've just jumped right in, and we've been writing songs now for over a year, and we have a song circle that I formed, and the the more I've learned about songwriting and music, the more I realize what a valuable teaching tool music is. And so the idea that beginners could incorporate music into anything they were doing with nature, to teach people, to invite people to come, buy a booth if you were having some display at some event or something, that it would be a really valuable tool to have. So we're going to give you a crash course in what you might do to put a song together. And because we're assuming that most people are beginners in this class, we're going to do it to a melody that already exists. Writing a song and then putting it to music is really two different things, but they have to happen together. But if you start with a melody that already exists, it makes it a lot easier. And so that's what we're going to focus on today. If you are a musician or you have a music background, you might want to put your own melody to something, but at least this will give you an idea of what's possible. I've included on page 4 and 5, there's references of some of the articles I found that talk about how good music is for memory and for memorizing and for teaching, and
to use as a gift for your family, friends, and
right.
fans.
Yeah, when you give a song to somebody, you sing it in your own voice. It's a gift. You're giving a gift of yourself. So think of it that way.
And it sounds the best outside.
Oh, okay.
In nature, of course.
Right. Anyway, so I make sure you look at the handout, and some of the references are really interesting articles. And on the back page, I have a list of books that if you decide that you want to learn more about songwriting, there's one author, Pat Pattison, who's really well known and has a bunch of books. They're intimidating. They have a lot of information in them. I still haven't read the first one all the way through. I just keep going back to chapters at the beginning because I keep, going through stuff. Anyway, so if I don't say everything, there'll be in some of these books or some of these articles. So let's see here. Okay, so I think I got my first page done. Oh, the other one is that because we're using melodies that already exist, you're not going to be selling your song. But we're all amateurs, and people do it all the time. Teachers use it. I've met some teachers that have done projects in their classes where they've studied habitat, and the kids have come up for verses, and she put it to that old song, Lollipop, Lollipop.
Lolly, lollipop.
Yeah, it was habitat. And it turned out to be a really neat project. They were able to collaborate with a high school who illustrated a video they made. They got to go to a professional recording studio. All the 10-year-old kids record it, and then have the high school students make a animated video to go with it. And she said that the kids were so proud of themselves. And these were English second language students. Anyway, so I want to do is pull up, I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to pull up the first page, because we're going to, I'm just going to go over some basics. I'm afraid you're not going to be able to read these little words in the boxes, but since you have it, I'm not going to worry about that. But these are just of a few things. And this sheet will be a good thing for you to keep, so that if you do write a song, these are some of the ideas that you can think about. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what's your song about? You know, what's your main idea? It has to be distilled down to just basically a single thought. I have trouble doing that. I have too much to say. But songs really demand a simple thought. And usually that's in your chorus. That's your main, whatever it is you're talking about, you know, that's in your chorus. That's the main thought. And then the verses, oh yeah. And the other thing is that's a lot of times where the hook, and which that means it's either a catchy phrase, it's a catchy word, or it's a catchy part of the melody that you know, you find it becoming an earworm. And if you can find that, and a lot of times people find that first while they're taking a walk. Yeah, Marcia does that.
That's the way I write.
So your verses are going to be supportive of your chorus, and your verses are going to bring a different message that supports the chorus. So I just took this, we took this You Are My Sunshine. It's a simple kind of folky song. And, you know, when I look at the chorus, to me, the main idea is, I can't live without you. This is a first person song. Whoever wrote it, we don't know if it's a woman or man, is singing to someone. And it's just about emotions. It doesn't tell you where, who, or when. But so the main idea is like, I can't live without you, you know. You're my sunshine, my only sunshine. And in my mind, that's the hook. You know, my sunshine, my only sunshine. Don't take my sunshine away, you know. And then if you go to look at the verses, you know, the first verse, the main thing you're trying to say there is, man, I'm sad. You know, I'm really distraught. I'm sad. And why? Well, because don't take my sunshine. You know, you're my only sunshine. So it relates back to the chorus. The second verse is kind of like, okay, now I'm mad. You know, you've done me wrong. And why am I mad? You know, because you make me happy, and I'm mad that you're taking that away from me. And I think the third one is, you know, you lied to me. You've shattered me. You know, you've ruined me. And why? Well, because you're my sunshine. You know, don't take that away from me. So that's kind of a basic thing that the verses support the chorus.
Well, that's a country story. There's just no train in there.
Right. Yeah. Good. and then I've got things highlighted in yellow, and those are called power positions. And that's the main idea of that verse or of the chorus. Those are the words that you want people to remember, or will hook you into, you know, remembering it. And they can either generally be in the first verse, the first line, I mean, or the last line of the verses. And so I've marked them, you know, and basically they tell you what the main idea is. Although in the chorus, because the you know, please don't take my sunshine away, I think is the PowerPoint, but I think it's got a sub PowerPoint in You Are My Sunshine and My Only Sunshine. Yeah. And then one of the other things that songs like, and is rhyme. And the reason it's good to have rhymes in your song is it's an audio experience. You're listening to it. So you need some punctuation. When you're reading, you've got periods, you've got, parentheses, you've got all kinds of stuff. In songs, your rhymes are the punctuation, and which is really interesting because in verse 1 of this song, there is no rhyme. And so no rhyme is unstable. we don't know quite what to do with that. There's no punctuation, but fortunately it leads right into the chorus where we've got the ending of line 2 and line 4, gray and away, which are perfect rhymes. That's just the name of the kind of rhyme. They're not necessarily the best rhyme, but they're the words that are closest together. They have the same vowel sounds, and if they had a consonant, they would have the same consonant sound at the end, and the consonants in front would be different. But that's the most that they those are the most solid kind of rhymes. Those are rhymes that don't leave you with any question of where do I go next. It's just like that's the statement and stuff. So the rhyme doesn't have to be at in the second or fourth. It could be first and second, and then another rhyme with 3 and 4. It could be your rhyme with the end of 1 and one of 4. It's just the other thing about rhyme that I didn't mention is that our brains learn in small sections, and they call it chunks, and rhymes contain small amounts of information, and that helps people remember stuff. So that's
Karen, there's a quick question somebody has in the chat, and they see that you wrote family rhyme at the bottom. What does that mean?
That's another kind of rhyme. That rhyme is the second step down from a perfect rhyme, and where the vowel sounds are the same, the consonants in front are different, but the ending consonants belong to the same phonetic families. If you want to know more, this is really interesting. There's 5 different kinds of rhymes. In Pat Pattison's, the first book I have listed in the list of 3 books that I have as on the the book list, he has a really good chapter on rhymes, and I just have about worn out that part of my book because trying to find a word that'll work with a word that you want in a song.
Is it true nothing rhymes with orange?
Yeah.
I use the word boring to go with orange because they've got the o sound. I call those near rhyming. But you're making it your own song. So if it works for you, it works. You can put a little accent in there when you're saying the word and make it work.
The other thing you can do is if you have the word orange, you can switch your phrasing around in your sentence and don't end it with orange. You can actually take your sentences apart, and sometimes you have to do that and just change how you phrase things.
I just got so excited because in the chat, someone just mentioned a word that's perfect because it's a nature word, borage.
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes. So it's kind of like a little treasure hunt. I don't know. It's kind of like a puzzle. If you like doing puzzles, putting a song together is fun. And there's a couple websites out that are rhyming and synonym and sites, and I think I've that's on one of the back pages of a good website to go to help you out. And there are also rhyming books and so. Okay, I'm going to move on, and the next thing I wanted to talk about is if you see this list of syllables on the left-hand side of that page, and this is an important thing because when you're writing verses, they all have to fit in the same musical notations. You don't change the melody on the verses. They all have to fit. And one of the ways you can do that, and I do that with every line I write now. I count the syllables, and you want your and you'll notice that they're pretty regular, and you can put an extra syllable in sometimes, and it'll work with the same melody. Sometimes you can't, but so when you are writing and you're editing, count the syllables and see how they work. And the other thing you'll notice is that the first and the second line are different lengths, and you don't really want your song to have everything the same, every verse to have, every line. I'm sorry, I'm saying verse when I mean line. You don't want every line to,
Be exactly the same because then you can't breathe.
well,
While
it's
you're
also
singing.
boring.
It's
Yeah,
boring.
yeah. Anyway, thanks, Marcia. That was good. So, and so it's real important. And then you're gonna, so you've written all this stuff, and then you have to sing it. And a lot of times you'll find that what you've written sounds like it's going to work just fine with the syllables, but you can't sing it. It just doesn't work. And then you've got to figure that out to get it. Yeah. Anyway.
Karen, this is your warning for time.
Okay, good. So I just wanted to, I'm getting pretty good on getting us out of here. The next sheet, I'm just going to show you this, and I included it. We're not going to do anything with it, except I'll just mention this is the second page. You can take the count of the syllables that I counted, and you can see how they're each under a note, each line, and you can do that by yourself. If you're not familiar with sheet music, here's a piece that you can study someday and get more familiar with. I don't read music. I understand it. I don't sight read, but
I sight read.
oh, I don't.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, but
She's the expert.
I understand how it works, and so I included that sheet just to point out. Oh yeah, one thing is this song. The chorus has the same melody, and it's a folk song. It's easy to remember. A lot of times you want to find songs. Oh, I don't know what that is. Somebody's calling me. Sorry. So let's see. I think we're. Oh yeah. That's really bothering me. I'm sorry. I don't know where to turn.
Now
it
you know
off.
what it's like to be a professor in class when that happens.
Oh boy, yeah. I never get calls. I don't know why. Anyway, we took the melody of "You Are My Sunshine." This is number 3 in your pack, and we put some words to it. And these are this is just an exercise to show you, yeah, you can do that. You can take a song and you can put words to it. And so we just came up with a silly song, and actually
About nature.
yeah, about nature. Basically, basically that it's, we're gonna do our part to help protect bees. All kinds of bees, all the native bees, and so we're going to use that later. But that again is just to show you that you can take an existing melody. Now, if you don't have sheet music and you've got a memory and you know a verse of a song, you don't need to use sheet music. You just need to know the melody and put words to it. And if you can sing it to the melody, you're doing it right. The sheet music is only it's just basically for illustration of how this is doing. I don't think that we didn't use sheet music when we were coming up with words for this.
Nope. We
Nope.
just used what they call tablature, and it's just where the change
chord
of
changes.
chords are. May I mention that at
Oh,
the
yeah.
top are the graph is for ukulele,
Yeah.
which is one of the most family-friendly instruments in the world, and I believe Karen plays. A
Yeah.
few of us play. I'm a guitar player from way back, and I've picked up the ukulele, and it's my favorite.
Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that. I just took it for granted that
Everybody knew
everybody
it was
plays ukulele.
Well, they should.
Yeah. So
I have a quick comment. I have a question from somebody.
Yeah.
I think it's appropriate for this time. It's what software app do you recommend for writing up the song with the music, similar to your example?
Oh,
Do that.
Any word program is good.
I don't. They make programs that will write sheet music up. I don't. I have an art program that I take a PDF of the sheet music, and then I go into my art program and black out or white out what I don't want, and I can put in layers, and I can get rid of stuff I don't want and add
You're
stuff.
old school.
Oh, I'm old school. Yeah, but they actually make. I'm
There's one in Google.
okay. Anyway, but I'm sorry. I don't. Yeah, I am old school. So,
Well, I'm older school than that because I just write it down. I'd like to mention quickly that I use a tablet next to my bed because my best thinking comes when I first wake up in the morning and I'm not quite awake, and I've just had this fabulous hook phrase or this little chorus, and that's how I happen to write. And then I write them down, and I take the story that I'm trying to tell. You can also repeat lines. I know somebody out there is a kindergarten teacher, and this is very good for your class so that they can remember things as if you have them repeat the same line or echo a song you are singing. So there's a little hint from when I was teaching kindergarten, first grade. So I want to talk about your sense-bound thinking because you can't just wake up in the morning and like write a song. Well, you can, and I have. I think my first song was like that. But it's much better if you can use these tools that Karen has pointed out. I love the graph with the dissection of the different song. Sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, and your body motions, like your heart beating, your breathing, your butterflies in your stomach are all great things to look upon for getting feeling into your song. There's a song that Karen introduced to me about swimming pools of butterflies, and it never leaves me, that just one particular phrase, and it's quite a long song, but that is memorable. So when you look at the song that we have rewritten, it goes, raised in a beehive. You could change that to raised in a warm hive. Well, now you've actually used the bodily function of, so what bodily function did you use in that?
that was warm. You're sensing.
Oh, there we go. There you're sensing that it's warm.
Yeah.
And so another one that you may find that you want to change would be, hail to all wild bees. You could write, we love all wild bees. And there you go. You have your body function again, that you're showing emotion and love. This happens like with the word orange. You won't want to put that at the end of a sentence, but you might want to put, I saw an orange bee flying by, and then we know it's from the hive. So there, we've got a rhyme just by taking it orange and reversing those crazy words. Another one is on every flower. You could change to on fragrant flowers, and now we're using
Smell.
Thank you.
You're
Yes,
smelling
we
it,
are. Or on every flower, you could change that to brilliant flowers, and now we're seeing it. So this gives you an idea of brainstorming. So, or really just thinking about how to get different ideas for a song. A memorable phrase like a chorus is what I like to write first. I have mentioned that. And it's because if you think about TV jingles or themes to Star Wars or other movies, these are the memorable moments of a song. If you're writing a birthday song for a grandchild, you certainly would want to say their name, and they're going to remember what you sang about because you've personalized that gift to them. So that's part of nature, taking care of each other also. So the prompt that we want to get you some ideas that will support the song that you're going to change. Now, our prompt is actually changing the line.
To what song, Marcia?
Hail to the wild bees. Never pass up an opportunity to perform. It will make you better each time you do it. By the way, you know there are over 1,000 different types of wild bees in California. Karen and I actually started talking about a song and what should we write about. And we talk so much about bees that I now actually pay attention and see them. So sharing your idea for a song is very important. You could even share it with your class and say, well, what should we write about? What can we see? What can we smell? What can we hear? Having taught first grade, I find this a great tool. and it's also with songwriting when you're sharing with other people. So, some ideas would be like you could talk about the different plants in a bee garden. You could talk about the different flowers and how they relate to pollinating the flower, could be talking, as a matter of fact. So, if you don't know anything about bees and you want to write a song about bees for your class, for yourself, or to relate it to someone else who is fond of them, just make something up. They'll find it entertaining also. So, we are now going to take a 5-minute break. This is your time to shine and whatever else you need to do. But I want you to take your pencil, paper, tablet outside. Don't just stand and look around. Close your eyes and imagine what you're feeling, what you're hearing, what you're smelling, other senses.
Like, are you breathing gently? Are you breathing hard? Or,
Good point.
are you relaxed? Are you,
Excited. I'm excited.
yes.
So the prompt is to change the line in the song, Hail to the Wild Bees. So be back in 5 minutes because we have more excitement that we want to share with you.
What? So I'm confused, Marcia. The prompt is, it's, think of a subject that you could write as a second verse.
Okay, let's go with the second verse.
Yeah. If you were going to write a second verse to a bee song, brainstorm.
Okay.
Ideas.
I was going to say, I want to make sure we understand what we're doing. So we're not actually writing the song, we're getting ideas for it. Is that
where if you already have some kind of ideas and you come up with a line or an idea for, either way, both.
okay. Using our senses and the rhyming structure ideas and
yeah, we're at this point, just come up with ideas. Come up with ideas, and if you catch yourself, with a little line going, "Ooh, I like that," that kind of stuff, write down. That just really isn't enough time to write a verse for right now. But we just want you to go outside for a second. Use the senses that you're not using as much. We all use vision, so taste something. Smell. Listen.
Experience.
Yeah. What are you feeling? And then see if you can put that into, just remember that.
And is this going to be about bees?
This will be about the bee song, and it could, like Marcia said, it could be from the flower, the plant that's getting pollinated's point of view. Doesn't have to, it could be any aspect that we might talk about that would support, the chorus, which is, it's our cause to ensure you survive. We want to do as much as we can to help bees.
Does anyone else have questions, or does that seem pretty clear to go outside and get some inspiration?
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to narrow it down so you wouldn't have to think about absolutely everything under the sun. So we'll see you back at 1:40.
Okay. And I know one person just joined us, so if you need to stay and take a look at this song to know what we're talking about, feel free, or ask us some questions for a sec. Okay, I'm going to stop recording for the break. Okay, welcome back everybody from your break.
So basically we just want you to come up with your ideas, and you can brainstorm. If a verse comes to your a line or two or something, or you had this great idea, well, maybe I'll sing about this. Go ahead and spend a few minutes and write a few things down, and then we'll share some of those ideas. It's always fun to see what everybody comes up with because they'll all be different.
Does anybody have one already? All those hands are flashing up, I can tell. Just flash. Oh, there we go. Tiffany has one.
Well, I kind of have an idea because I was drinking some tea with some honey. So I was thinking bees produce honeys, and maybe we can replace the lines on every flower. We can replace it with producing honey, and how we preserve it as a treasure and an enjoyment rather than, I don't know, using it wildly, something like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, that would be another way to look at your garden. I mean, that it would actually become a source of food for you rather than just a pretty flower.
You could say, use my honey from all the wild bees. I just love it in my tea. Good job. So right there we had the two vowels, the bees and the T. So it was a perfect rhyme. Is that a perfect rhyme, even though they aren't spelled the same?
Uh, yeah, it's not the spelling, it's the sound.
Learn something new every day. Fabulous.
It's the same vowel sound.
Anybody else want to share something with us? A word. You went outside and you found a word from nature that you'd like to interject into the song. Again, that wild waving of hands.
Hello.
Oh, Jessica. Oh no, Gail. Hi, Gail.
Hi. I didn't know it was just one word, and
Well,
so
it could be anything.
I have a phrase for the second line. I also actually redid the first line, so it could go either way. Anyway, so just taking the second line, I came up with "They're buzzing round me,"
Nice.
and incorporating the sense of hearing.
Yes. Nice.
I had somebody tell me because they have tinnitus that they don't feel they can use hearing in writing a song. And I mentioned to the gentleman, I said, but you're hearing that all the time, so you actually are using your hearing because all you hear is that buzzing or the ringing in the song. So now every song he writes has something about a bell in it. But I like that
reminds
phrase when
me-
you said they're buzzing round me. Very good.
And that reminds me of something because I'm in a suburban area near a road that's pretty busy. And so I have like road noise. And if I have a little garden and when I see a bee, it's like the buzzing of the road versus the buzzing of the bee.
Mm.
And even if you're busy in an urban space, you can still like feel like you're coming back to nature from that focus on that buzzing instead of the road buzzing. I don't know to do something
Yeah,
like that.
well, I'm glad you said that because I was doing some sense-bound writing this summer on a song. We had a prompt, summer senses, and I went outside and I realized that the commute traffic. This was early in the morning. If I closed my eyes, it could have been a big rushing river,
Mm.
and it was.
Oh, I like that. Did
Yeah.
you put that in that song?
Yeah, I
That
did.
you did. Yeah, you did,
Yeah,
didn't you? That was
'cause,
awesome.
the tires on the highway could be a rushing river, and it's amazing. I mean, I now think of it totally different just from that experience.
There's so many things that nature can teach us if you just open your eyes and ears and sense of smell and being. I never paid any attention to the wind blowing on my skin, but it calms me down. And so therefore, I'm kind of a little hyper. So if I go outside to write a song like When I'm Walking the Dog, now here's where I need to take my phone out and just record it. Doesn't make a lot of sense all the time, but let me tell you, all the ideas seem to flow just by feeling nature on my skin, walking the dog. Could be a song about walking the dog.
I love wind. I love that you brought that up because you can just literally step outside your door. And that's
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
And it has a rhythm to it. So you can have that rhythm. Another thing I'd like to mention is that you use da 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 da, but if you change the words, often you won't recognize that melody when you get it into your own words. So you're not copying strictly that music because when you start to rhyme, you're going to have the da 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 da, or you're going to have da 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 using the same notes, but it really will change. It's amazing how that really helps the person who doesn't play an instrument. I also like the fact when Karen mentioned, then you write the song, you edit it, now you got to play it.
Or sing it. Sing it.
I'm going to guarantee you're going to change the rhythm of that song. I mean, I will stake $1 on that.
Oh,
Jessica.
Because that happens every single time to me. Or now I'm kind of like, I want to make a bluesy song, or I want to do a cha da cha da 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 da. I don't even know what kind of song that is, but it's from the early vaudeville. So it's kind of like another hint I have is you take the type of song you want to write. Let's say you want to write a waltz. Just write waltz at the top. Now write your song. Now try to sing it, and you're going to see if you've written a waltz or you've done the blues.
And Jessica has something she'd like to add.
great.
So I live on a little less than a half acre, and I've focused a lot on creating habitat, right? And so that was my focus. So I wrote, plenty water here, surrounded by blooms, touching down gently. There is so much room. The lovely gardeners provide the green belt. Humming through the air, we sing in the breeze.
Wow.
The first attempt, I'm so.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, she's got it. She's got the idea down now. Yay.
Oh, I love it. What you're incorporating. The green belt. That made me so happy.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. That, if you get the main idea, you really have to keep your main idea in, the focus of what you want to write about. And if it's something about nature, keep that main idea always in the forefront of your mind. And then, the supporting stuff that you'll write about it. Sometimes I think I have a main idea and I'm writing along, and then all of a sudden I realize that's the verse, that's not the main idea. And I find that too. I just want to say that I know this was a lot of fast information. This is really, there's a lot more to songwriting, and I felt like I had to, even doing a modified version, cram a lot in. I hope I didn't overwhelm anybody, but and I hope this just gives you just a feeling that, and feel confident. Yeah, you can write a song. You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to have a lot of training. If you hear a melody, you can write a song. So you don't have to be the best singer in the world. You don't have to be the best musician. Music's for everybody. We're human beings. Music is part of us. So don't ever let you're feeling that your skill levels aren't up to par. It doesn't matter. Enjoy the beauty of being able to enjoy music.
Create and make a gift.
Yeah.
And the next one will be even better. There's another $1, I'll bet you.
Yeah.
And how many people here have know a song from being in nature? Anything like the banana slug song, or there's so many ways that those are some of the things I took away most from my outdoor ed experiences, were the songs that we learned. So it's such a powerful tool too. And if you actually listen to the words on those songs, we could all write that, right? It's not a classical composer here. So kids will, if you're teaching kids or if you're doing informal education, it's just really something that I think we don't use enough, connecting the two parts of our brain, right? We have this artistic side, and to learn these important things that are happening in nature, or even sustainability issues, or whatever you're trying to get across or connect to, that music can really be that connector for us to make change. So I think it's really more powerful than people recognize. And I'm so thankful for Marcia and Karen for coming today and giving us this little intro. And they will be here another half hour. So I'm going to kind of do a little wrap up spiel, and then we'll have another full half hour for anyone who does want to stay. And I'm actually going to go outside myself this time for a couple minutes to get inspired. And you wanted to say something, Marcia? I see you're making a they can
That's
contact.
a really great idea. I just wanted to remind people that you can write a song and have the people say it back to you. We call those call and response songs. And those are really easy to remember things because you hear it twice, and that you can convey the message also, but include your audience. Very important.
Great point. Yeah, and the repetition.
Yep.
So, one big thank you again, round of applause for everybody who came, and for Marcia and Karen for doing this. It's been in the works for over a year, so I'm so happy that it had happened. And I just want to tell you a few more events coming up. You can always check out our calendar page, cei.sonoma.edu/calendar. But there's 3 coming up that I'm just really quickly going to point out. So next Monday, which is, the next business day, we have one that's actually specifically for undergraduate students. It is open to the public. It's called Live from the Field: Impacts of Field Research on Society. And it's going to highlight 3 different researchers from around the country doing things like architecture, biomimicry, scallop research, and Pepperwood doing drought and flood research with Sonoma Water. And they're going to have these people here. All 5 of them are going to answer your questions live after we show you some video presentations of them actually in the field doing their research. So it's really fun. And I hope you can join if you happen to have a class of students. I know it's a late date, but we have materials too that you can use to do pre-reading, post-reading. There's little assignment things. So there's going to be another Live from the Field event in October if you can't make this one, but maybe come to this one and see if it's the kind of thing you'd like to use with your classes. High schoolers also might get something out of it. And then next Friday, we have one that's called Rising Waters, and it's all about water quality and homelessness and how those issues interact. And there's actually been a year-long project that students have been addressing, and this is the culmination of that. They're going to be presenting their results. So we have some bigwigs coming from all over the county trying to see what can we do now that these research projects have been done to address both of these issues that are connected. And then we have some that's a little bit more fun and friendly to a general audience. And it's held by Juan Carlos Solis from Sonoma Water, all about the drought and what everyday people can do about it, both for ourselves and for the environment. And we're so excited that there's going to be 2 events. One is on Monday, the 27th, all in Spanish. And then Tuesday, the 28th, the same event in English. So it's bilingual, but separate so that you can really delve into whatever language you feel most comfortable with. So take a look at our website for all of those. Please register in advance so we know how to prepare. Like, we were thinking about doing breakout rooms for this event if we had more people. So it's really important for us to kind of know who's going to be there. And remember, these can be attended from anywhere. They're virtual. So like, I literally had my friend in Switzerland come. We have some people from South Africa that have presented. So tell your family, friends, colleagues everywhere, and watch the recordings. And then next semester, hopefully we'll see some of you on the preserve or our hikes. Do come to our Saturday hikes. We'll finally have those starting October 16th. Just show up at 10 a.m. at Osborne Preserve. So I'll put the calendar in the chat, and otherwise, stay safe. Thank you. And I hope that you all can make a difference out there.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you so
you for
much.
what you said about the power of songwriting. You
We
said it
believe.
really well.
We believe.